Welcome back to AM and the PM with Amanda and Mark.
Hey, what's happening?
So, today we kind of wanted to talk about things that make our relationship solid. Because I feel like a lot of people just need to hear that.
Yeah, I would say so. I think the Amanda brought up the topic, and we were looking for one. So obviously we don't have guests this week. We're just doing a co-op little episode here for you guys. But we have a lot of things that we think make our relationship pretty strong, like Amanda said, and we can just kind of go over them one by one, and then maybe if you guys want to leave some comments down below, or in posts on social or anything like that, maybe tell us what you guys think makes your relationship strong, or what you guys think you can improve on, or what I don't know, just any tips or anything. We'd love to make these more of a conversation, I think, because we know that everybody can improve. So what do we got?
So, the first one that we said, communication. And for me, this is like the number one thing that I think is important in a relationship. And when Mark does not communicate with me, I call him out on it.
Yeah, normally it's because like I'm playing hockey and she doesn't know I'm playing hockey or something silly like that. Is that not the case?
Or when a recent case, I asked, Mark was recording a Fueled by Progress episode, which if you guys don't know what Fueled by Progress is, then you're missing out. You can get a little.
Oh, I mean, it's just it's another podcast we have. I can leave a link in the description or something like that.
Fueled by Progress. If you're watching the video, it's on Mark's shirt.
Yes. It's okay. As a brief aside, Fueled by Progress was a brand idea that I had. Fueled by Progress just kind of like means a lot to me, and then also like Amanda is hugely involved in that. We were gonna do apparel, so like shirts and like all sorts of different athletic apparel and everything like that. We have since switched gears slightly, and I'm trying to make it more of a community of individuals that want to continue to get better and all that sort of stuff. So we have a podcast very similar to this where I have on guests. Amanda's been a guest. We've had probably about 4 or 5 episodes. We have a bunch more coming, and we will get back to the close. But right now, it's difficult to get items from places like Printful and all these other manufacturers that we were dealing with. So if you're interested in that, there'll be a link in the description. Go check it out. I appreciate it. But yeah. So what was the reason?
So he was recording a podcast for Fueled by Progress with a friend of ours, and I didn't really know. All of a sudden, he said that he was gonna stop over, blah blah blah, and he like failed to tell me that he was going.
It's like a driver's test.
He was going swimming.
Failed the signal.
He failed to tell me that he was going swimming for like a couple hours, and like to me it was like, I'm gonna record this episode, we're almost done. And then he said, you can come swimming if you want, and I was like, I don't want to come swimming. And he just like assumed I knew in my brain that meant he was gonna go swimming with them. But to me it was like, I'm gonna record this podcast and come to your house when I'm done or something like that. It didn't matter, but I didn't know. And then I asked him, my family cooked dinner and I had leftovers for him. So I asked him if he wanted some, and he never like answered me. And like he seemed interested in it but didn't answer. And then like hours went by and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, do you want this dinner or not? And he's like, I just got out of the pool. And he left his phone at their apartment. They have a swimming pool at their apartment. They were on our last episode, Jen and B, so go check that out. But that's just a quick example of not communicating. Silly, really silly. But I mean, I feel like that's really stupid. I think that was a bad example, honestly. I think Oh my gosh.
She's
Sorry.
dying.
Corona.
Mm.
I just coughed. I think a lot of relationships have trouble with communicating in general. Like, just like, oh, you know, like talking over text message and saying like stupid stuff. When you really should communicate in person or like on the phone, like, and talk about it. Even in person, it's completely different than on the phone.
Yeah.
But you need to like actually talk about it. And then a lot of people will not talk about something. Like, to me, it's like if I'm thinking about it and it's making me mad in my head, even if I tell you 7 times about it, like, I'm still gonna tell you because I feel like you need to know how I feel.
Mm.
And then we talk about it. And we like really talk about it. Like, we like deep dive into like our feelings. I know a lot of people are not like that. I know a lot of guys like cannot talk about their feelings. So I feel like I'm not trying to say it's only men, but I know some guys that like just have trouble talking about their feelings, so that's maybe why they aren't communicating.
Mm. Yeah. I think that in person and in person on the phone or whatever is probably better than text message, but I think that even more than that, and it runs in line with some of the other points that we have that we're going to discuss later on here. You just have to be, open. That's what communication means, right? And you have to be considerate, right? I think that's actually probably a better. What I did that time where I didn't, that you explained where I didn't update you or I didn't answer that question fully, and I kind of left you like sort of in limbo there. As maybe like a miscommunication as it may be, almost just like a considerateness to, being considerate enough to like, figure out the situation. And normally 9 times out of 10, that is what happens with us. We're always trying to plan and make sure that we cross the T's, dot the I's types of things on those. But, that was one time where we kind of slip up and it's just like, oops, and it's kind of like annoying. But luckily that's a small case. But the bigger point for communication is that you have to be open with your partner. And like you said, if something's bothering you, you got to say it, because you can't let those feelings like harbor within you and like start to like eat at you or whatever and make it, because once you start going down shitty path in a relationship where it's tough for you guys to for like the two of you in a relationship to feel good around one another and all this sort of stuff, and like and really be open with one another, then I think you're in jeopardy there. And I think that overall we try to do a pretty good job of that. I think that's kind of my take on it, at least.
Yeah, I just think it's like the number one problem in most relationships.
I would say so.
Some people just get angry and they can't, or they communicate, but not in
Yeah.
ways that are healthy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I have another one. I don't know if we added it to the list or not, but I have another one.
But we've both been like, when we met each other, I always say this, I never met anyone that talks as much as me. And when I say as much as me, I mean more than me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's another reason why we communicate so well. And trust me, there's been times where it's been rough. Don't get me wrong, but like I think
I don't even remember those times.
I think that's why we communicate so well. I just remember a lot of stupid things. But what's the one you thought of?
I think it either belongs like right here at the top or at the end. But most of these, like we said, are kind of intertwined. I really believe that the reason that our relationship has been so good and that other relationships are good is a founding reason is that it has nothing to do with the relationship. Actually, it has completely to do with you as an individual and you as yourself. Because like
Can I guess it? Can I guess what you're gonna say?
I don't know what I'm gonna say, so go ahead. Yeah, I mean, I don't have like.
Are you trying to say about like when um you're like self evolved and you like love yourself and then that's
Yeah.
how you love another person?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just believe in that wholeheartedly. I don't think that there's any way. I think that most problems in a relationship, because that's what we're talking about, or any, whether it's intimate relationship or like a friend relationship, I think most problems actually stem from you, the individual, having a problem with yourself, or you having like you not being comfortable with something, or just any sort of variation of reasons that kind of come together and ultimately make a problem within the relationship, right? So if your partner is doing something that you don't like, but they really enjoy, and like that makes you angry, then it's like, well, that's a tough thing to deal with, right? So it's like you need to either decide like, is there, and then there's more in here, like it's all intertwined, so I don't want to like spoil the rest of the stuff, but like things like compromise and stuff like that, you gotta really blend it all together. But when you aren't in a good position yourself, then you're normally not in a good position to bring somebody else into that that unit and that environment, because when you don't have your shit together, I don't think it's a good idea to bring other people into that. So
Yeah, and I'm kind of confused of what point you're getting at.
what do you mean? I just meant kind of like love yourself,
Yeah.
but ultimately like you have to it's you first in a sense. I get shit for this sometimes because like I feel like I'm seen as being like selfish in a way because I think about myself first and then I think about like a unit or like how to build other things with people. But I don't know. It's just the way that I think. The way that I think is if I have my stuff in order, then I am going to cause the least amount of problems in like a relationship or in a business or anything like that. And then together we can all make something great because we all have our individual selves put together. So now our unit is going to be 10 times stronger than it ever could have been because we're not going to have these weird weaknesses and all this other stuff. Like that was a weird way to put it, but I'm just saying like I think that I mean you can look to our relationship, you can look to other people's relationship. When one person gets more confident and more loving of themselves and like makes progress, the whole unit improves, So that's the way that I think about it. The next one? Or do you...
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I have known some people that um have struggled with themselves though, and like their relationship has turned out okay.
It's not
But
like a death sentence, but it's
no,
like
I
it
think
makes it
it
easier.
makes it yeah.
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 It's two individuals making up a relationship,
Yeah, and I think we both came together um knowing ourselves really well.
Yeah.
And I think now we like know ourselves even
Yeah.
better.
Another way, I don't want to keep adding things, but another way to say exactly what you just said, I would say as a line in there would be, and this would be geared towards people like getting into a relationship, is experience. And I don't mean just like sexual experience or anything like that, but that is a real thing.
Relationship
That's
experience.
a real thing. When you jump into a relationship the first time, there's a low likelihood that that's going to last the rest of your life.
Yeah. Mark and I have both been in like multiple relationships before we got together. And we talked about why they failed.
Yeah.
Like what was wrong with them, like what went wrong and why. Which I think is kind of funny because a lot of people it kind of makes me angry. A lot of people, not angry, but like I don't know. A lot of people are really petty when it comes to talking about their past relationships. Like, oh no, don't speak that girl's name.
Yeah.
Like, I just think it's really silly.
Especially when you don't even know them.
Yeah. what, you want to go be with her now?
Mm.
Oh, go ahead. Like, I just
Mm.
think it's so, I think it's so petty and stupid. We've talked about, like, every single one of our past relationships, what went wrong, what happened, what we could have done to, like, whatever. You just bit, not like the whole shebang, like every relationship, but we've talked about why, um, our past relationships didn't work out and what we wanted to incorporate into our relationship, like if we were to get together, because we talked about that at the very beginning, like before we talked about that stuff right off the bat. um so we talked about what we wanted in a relationship, what didn't work before, and what we wanted for our future. So I think that was also really helpful.
Yeah, no doubt.
Compromise.
That's a good one.
Do you want to go first?
I mean, I know that compromise is important, but I don't actually have that big of an opinion on it because I'm trying to think about our relationship because that's obviously the experience that I have. And I don't really think that we have, and you give me your perspective once I give mine, but I don't actually think that I experience compromise too much because when I hear compromise, I think like negatively in a way. I think like, oh, well, I'm not getting what I want type of thing. But I feel like I feel like I normally get what I want, but I don't really feel like you don't get what you want. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if there's somehow, at least to this point in our relationship, one thing that I've learned briefly from the guest couples that we've had on already, our relationship is probably going to change whenever we move in together, just the dynamic and everything like that. So we'll revisit some of these things obviously at that point because it'll be a different game. But what I'm saying is that I think that from a compromise perspective, I don't feel like I do it too much because I don't feel like we have that many things that we need to compromise on, in a sense of, I'm just trying to think, like going out to eat. I mean, maybe like the forest thing that we're gonna have to do. Like I didn't like say that we were gonna. I wasn't like gung ho about that, but I'm doing it. Like I don't.
Well,
I'm just confused. Like I don't.
I didn't think it was going to be that intense.
Well, we'll see what happens. Explain to me though, like, do you think there's a lot of compromise in our relationship? Can you point out some examples?
Well, I used to say that
I know it's important, but I just don't know any
this is
examples.
kind of a bad example, but I used to say compromise, like, okay, I would go do stuff that Mark likes to do, like I
Yeah.
would go to his hockey tournaments and I would go to his
Right.
hockey
But I just don't give a
games,
shit if you go or not.
and he would come with me with my friends if I like went drinking with my friends or something. And
We pretty much just do it all.
so we still do both here and there. Like I'll still like, but here and there I mean like here and there, like really here and there. Like I haven't in a long time, but I'll still go to his hockey or whatever, and every once in a while he'll come with me to like my friend's house where there's drinking or whatever, and he may not like it, but because I go to his hockey things and he would come with me to my friends. But now we're kind of at a point where I think I used to go to all of his hockey games,
Yeah.
because I wanted to see you all the time. And we're at a point now where it's like, we both have our own stuff to do. We don't really feel the need to see each other every day, like at all. And a lot of people in relationships are like, we see each other like every single day. And everyone always asks me, how often do you see each other?
Yeah.
And I'm like, so, and then we kind of talked about, like, if Mark doesn't want to come with me to a friend's house or something, or a party where there's drinking, like, just tell me you don't want to come, and then you don't come, because I don't want you to come and then be miserable, because it's just, like, just kills my vibe. So, but not everyone is going to jump into a relationship and just be okay with those things. I mean, we're going on 4 years here, and this has been the hockey thing has been, going on for a while. I haven't really been going to his games, but the whole him not coming with me to like parties or whatever thing, we kind of came up but compromise.
I mean, that almost never happens though.
What?
Like, I mean, like I have no opinion on whether you come to the games or not. It doesn't really matter to me. You're not really a girl that wants to be there. Like we have some friends, some girlfriends of friends that we have that like want to be at the hockey games. If you don't want to be there, it literally doesn't matter to me. Honestly, it's kind of easier because then I don't have to like leave like right away and shit like that.
I
can play another game.
I'm not a sports person at all. I mean, I've been watching Mark play hockey for how many years, and like sometimes I still don't know what's going on. I'm just not. I try to be that cheerleader girl cheering in the stands. I can't do it. I can't.
I think another way to obviously talk about compromise is like working together. I think we definitely do a lot of that, but I think but I think that like let's just hit on it briefly as we wrap this one up, this topic up. I would say compromising, just as a fun activity, what do you think we could compromise on more? I think we could compromise on leaving parties earlier, because that always is a problem. And then the other thing that would be cool is if you're doing a lot of like working out and you're becoming much more like athletic from just like a mobility perspective, it would be cool if we could play some more sports.
I was actually we were playing like volleyball in the pool, and I was actually having a fun time.
Yeah, that was interesting.
And
that was like weird. I thought you were somebody else.
He said that was the most like physical activity he's ever seen me do.
Well, that's the most sporty I've ever seen you be. You work out a lot. You work out much more than I do. I mean, like actual workout. So, but here's quick aside before you answer that. Just for me, like maybe this is different for you and I. Like it's like I guess you're like hanging out with MadFit when you work out. I guess that's maybe kind of how you feel, or in some way, because like you're really invested in MadFit and like you like doing this stuff, right? And that seems like your type of personality. But for me though, just on that topic and on like compromise and on like more so the athletic physical activity thing, I do not really like working out because I don't feel like there's not like a foreseeable, like an easily defined goal in a sense, because it's a very long-term thing. What I actually much rather do is I like running around with like a ball or like a frisbee or like a, some sort of something where like I know immediately what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to put this ball in that fucking net and I'm going to do whatever I can to do that. So it's like I don't think about the physical activity. I love running around. I love doing that, but I love it when it's associated with a objective, like a quick objective.
I love MadFit.
I love MadFit.
If you
just an aside.
If you look at me, I am proof that you get results.
I mean, yeah.
I literally wake up every morning when I get dressed and I stare at and I look at my stomach. Like, my stomach looks so good. I don't think it's ever looked this good. Like, I just love MadFit. She is so amazing.
Such an interesting. We're getting off topic, but that's such an interesting story. Like
we need to do a whole episode about MadFit. I can't.
Well, just like you in general, though, because like
you know what,
you haven't really changed your diet, but like you've seen some good results, and I think it's just a tribute to that you were not active whatsoever.
Well, I mean, I've been working out like 6 days a week since.
I understand that, yeah, but before that you weren't, and you weren't in bad shape. But but you're in much better shape now.
5 to 6 days a week since, like March, like 16th or something like that.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. It was after that. It was like a week after that, the end of March, till now, which is the end of July. So I would hope I would see something.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think I noticed it in myself though, because I just look at myself every day, but my mom like really noticed it in me. Like I said, we need to. But anyways, I think that's weird.
What I said?
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think you just have to find your thing.
Find my mad fit,
Yeah.
maybe.
Well, see, I would love to go to the gym and stuff, but for me, it's like, I'll just say this real quick and then we'll move on. For me, it's like, my friend asked me to go to the gym, and I could go to the gym, but I'm going to go to the gym and, like, I'm really clueless at what the heck to do at the gym. Like, I have no idea. Like, I used to get a gym membership just to go on the elliptical. Like, what? Um, but for me, it's like I would do this 20-minute video, 15-minute video, 12-minute video. I just follow what they do. Um, and it's like then it's done. Like I just do exactly what they do. And I think some people actually go to the gym and do like YouTube video workouts, but I don't know how you do that cuz I like have to see everything they do, fast forward it, make sure I'm doing it proper, like, you know. Um but Mad Fit actually used to go to the gym and she doesn't anymore
Interesting.
because those at-home workouts.
Yeah.
I'd love to have some equipment in my. We talked about doing this before, having an episode about like, or maybe we didn't say episode, but gym or at home workouts. I don't know.
What the fuck?
Mark always said the gym, but he hasn't been to the gym at all.
Yep.
I do think it would be interesting for us to go to the gym together, but we barely can get time to do this sometimes. So it's just we're very busy.
I would say that I am, all things considered, last point, and then we can move on. I would say that both of us, but me speaking for me, and then if you want to speak for you, I would say that I am above average when it comes to health, but I could be much better. You know what I'm saying? Like I could be much healthier. I'm above average though because of all the things that I don't do, and then also just sort of the life that I lead. So if I can maintain that until I can recoup some time, maybe we're together, you know, closer, and then we could go to the gym. We could build all of that into our day. The one thing I've learned about life is that you cannot do everything at one time. I'm starting to learn that real fucking fast. It's very hard to realize that, you know, like you can't just snap your fingers and be fantastic at everything. It's a process. You got to build it.
Yeah. But we probably compromise on a lot more stuff than we realize. Yeah. I just think.
I think I do my best to not sweat the small shit. So if there's something that like you want to do or want to something, then I feel like I'd normally just go along with it.
Yeah.
Like I feel there's some people that pick fights that don't need to be.
Yeah.
Like let's say, hey, can we go to the mall today? I don't have any fucking interest in going to the mall, but I'm probably just going to go with you because I like hang out. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe stuff like that.
Yeah. So like if you're the type of person that like only wants to do what you want and never anything else, then I think that's a problem.
I still want to go to the mall.
I wish Phila Pizza would open. I don't know what to say.
Okay. Honesty.
Go ahead. I started the last one. Do you want to go?
I think this kind of has to do with communication. I tell Mark how I feel all the time, even if I think it's going to make him mad.
Yep. Is that it? This is yeah. No, I would say the same thing though. I mean, honesty is huge. If you're a liar, you're doing it wrong. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It's a relationship, it's friends, whatever it is. Basically, no good ever comes out of lying. Maybe very, very few instances where that is an advisable option. But yeah, it's just I do my absolute best to, you know, both of us do our absolute best to tell each other the truth. Because like, what the fuck? Like, this is the problem. If you lie, then normally you're going to tell more lies. And then you have to keep up with that, which is exhausting and very, you know, stressful and all that sort of stuff. But the other thing is if you lie initially, like you're not going to get out of it, you know? If you tell the truth, then at least you're going to like that is the truth, and then whatever happens happens, and then it'll be over in a sense, you know, like whatever, like if you can rectify it, then great. If you can't, then it's over. But like if you're lying, then everybody is just fucked because there's no end to that. There's no
Yeah.
So honesty is a big one. You got to be honest, and you got to be compassionate, and that kind of goes back to like communication. So kind of goes without saying.
Common interest in doing something together.
Yeah, this is a big one. I put this down, and this is Amanda asked me for input before we started here. Let me give you the reasoning behind it, and then if you want to comment on it as well. I believe that our 4-year relationship has gotten better.
Okay, we need to stop saying 4 years when
Almost.
it hasn't been 4 years.
It's been almost.
I
September
know,
9th, right?
but it's like in my head that it's 4 years already.
Our
And I, like,
our 3-year and 11 month
I like tell everyone
relationship.
that's 4 years when it's
Our
not.
3-year
Oh,
10 month.
shit. We're
and-
almost there.
No shit. Our 3-year
Oh my
10
God.
month 3-year 10 month and 30 or 20.
I think it's funny that we're going to be
21 day.
4 years and like there are people that are together like 2 years and they're like married and live together. To me that's like crazy. I'm like we're like still just no, I'm saying like that's crazy that they're like already married and stuff. Like we're like still
Our babies.
cruising on
I don't know.
by.
I don't know. Yeah.
No, I feel like we're still learning a lot about each other after 4 years.
I don't think
People
that's
are
advisable. I think we
married
could
and
make
together after 2 years.
More. Yeah. I think that's you do you, but I think I have a different outlook on that. But specifically to this point, common interesting. I truly think that our relationship has continuously gotten better, but it's gotten exponentially better since we started doing things like this podcast, since we started doing things like, you know, since you started working out, and I kind of started doing that with you, but ultimately, like, you know, it's but here's how I truly see that. I was active and you weren't active.
Oh, I wanted to say this before.
Yeah.
Mark has like a hockey game every single day this week, and he has a tournament this weekend. So it's like he doesn't feel like he needs to work out anymore, and I don't blame him.
I mean, I actually feel like I should do strength training because that's just all basically cardio stuff. But again, we're going back to go forward. When I said I was above average in health, I was calculating all that in there. And I thought, well, if I could layer in some strength training and a little bit better diet, I'd be...
Do you want to work out with me? You could use my big weights.
Not really.
They're not that big.
Not really. Because again, with what I'm doing right
If you're
now...
watching, you can see my
Are
eye
you
roll.
talking about right now?
Because here he is saying, oh, I could work out more.
Let me explain, okay? We're all over the place. Let me explain. When you're working out in an hour from now or whenever, I need to promote the episode that we just launched. You know, I need to do a bunch of other things and then also have a hockey game.
It was so fun when he started working out with me, and now he doesn't anymore. And that's something that would be cool to do together. He doesn't want to do girly mad fit workouts. It's fine. I'm over it. I like doing it by myself. Honestly, it's like I feel I can focus more when I'm alone.
Tremendous.
But
Compromise.
that's compromise right there. We just showed you guys. No, I mean every once in a while I think it would be cool. I found this cool couples workout that I want to record, like, and put on YouTube for you guys to see of us doing it. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, that has to do with our topic. We're not getting off topic. Common interest, doing something together.
If you
I
don't
feel
have
like
something that you and your partner can do together consistently, I think you're going to
honestly
slowly fall apart.
I don't know what we did before
Me
all
neither.
of this.
We ate.
We would go out to
That's what we'd
eat
do.
like every day, and I'm glad that we've kind of gone away from that.
We get a lot more Chipotle
We
now.
definitely get a ton of Chipotle. And I don't think that's the same as going out to eat. It's not. Like my friends like, you and Mark go out to eat so much. And I'm like, we really don't anymore. I don't want to get sick of Chipotle, though. I'm kind of scared that I'm going to get sick of it.
Like throw up sick?
No, that I'm going to get sick of eating it.
That's hard.
So I should try to order some other stuff. But we would just eat way too often. We still do. But I think it's hard. We don't like have our own kitchen or anything. We still both live at home. And we don't want to buy our own groceries because why would we do that when our parents will pay for it? So I think that's why we just eat out a lot. I don't know. Do other people just eat what their parents make all the time, or do they? I don't know.
I don't know.
The last one that we have is being comfortable around each other. So I took this as like farting around each other and not caring. I think it's really stupid, especially if you're with someone for how long and you're still worried about farting in front of them or like pooping in the bathroom with them, like being near them. I know when you like go on your first date and stuff, it's awkward, or like you're just dating them and you don't know how they feel about like talking about poop with you.
This is gross.
I remember when I was younger, the guys in my neighborhood used to say girls don't poop.
Yeah, I think that's a lie, but I'm not sure.
And I don't know why some guys are like that. It's weird.
Well, I mean, that was a different issue. I was actually thank you for bringing that up. That piece of that point up, because when we talked about this topic, like being comfortable around each other, I thought of there's another way to describe it, and it's just kind of like being mature. So I think that those guys in your neighborhood or whatever were immature, probably still are. And the thing is, like, in a relationship, yeah, I mean, you have your preferences and you have things that you do like, don't like, but like for the most part, if you're not comfortable around one another to the like nth degree, stuff, is as silly as that, then, I don't know how you. I just think that if you, in a normal environment, right, you're living together, you go to work, you come home. If you're not comfortable like coming home and, just being completely open with your partner and, whatever happens, like whatever, whether it's like farting or whatever the hell, like if you're, it's just, I want the home, like our home, and I think that everyone should, their home to be a very comfortable place. And that relationship is where it all really stems from. So whatever it is, I think that level of comfort that you have with your partner is crucial. So, yeah, that's kind of the way that I interpret that, whether it's this, that, or the other thing. So, any further thoughts?
I think we're very like silly together too.
Yeah. Be able to have
I think
fun.
that's another way of like comfort, when we're just silly with each other and joking around and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think we've gotten a lot more serious with some of the things we're trying to do, right? Like this podcast and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, well, what I mean is like they're serious things, right? People would tend to say they're serious. But what I mean, like, or even serious isn't even a good way to put it, like productive, like things that we're working together on. But that doesn't mean that we lose the fun. Doesn't mean that we lose the enjoyment in doing things. Doesn't mean that we lose, the parts of it that make it worthwhile and all that. And, I just think it gets magnified when you can do cool shit with your partner, but you're also, moving forward. I think it's the best of both worlds. So, yeah.
I would agree.
Any other topics, or is that pretty much it? I think I added all the ones that I really had.
No. I think just being comfortable around someone who you communicate with, and I don't even remember what we talked about.
Yeah. No, just like, again, all the things: compromise, communication, honesty.
Yeah.
We'll have them all listed in the description too, and whatever too. But like we said, guys, I mean, tell us what you think. We'd love to hear from you. We're trying to really build up a community here with different guests and everybody that we're bringing. So this one was just a quick one that is something that's pretty important to us, I would say. But we wanted to make sure that we got one out for you this week. This weekend, we're actually going to be in a forest. So
You keep stop touching me with your foot.
Oh, sorry.
It's weird.
I'm kicking her with my foot.
Ew,
Sorry.
it's weird.
I think she put her foot onto me, but that's all right.
You keep like moving your toe.
Sorry. Anyway, we're gonna be in a forest. We're staying in a hotel, but we're gonna
this weekend.
Yeah, we're gonna be in a forest. So wish us well. Hopefully we come back and we don't get killed by a bear.
We're gonna go take on the forest together.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a good idea, but I think
it's her idea. Completely her idea.
Yes, but I was not aware of the seriousness of like.
She thought I guess there's just a nice little trail that's guarded by fence and barbed wire or something like that, and we're not going to be walking through a literal actual forest with bears and random animals in it. But yeah, hopefully we don't die. That would be cool. So we got to go find some whistles and
that'll
shit.
be a true test. See how we.
I'm gonna try to be
that.
chill as fuck. If we see a bear, though, I'm running. Actually, that's what you're not supposed to do. Actually, I watched a video. I watched a video on that.
What are you supposed to do?
Well, you're supposed to be kind of loud so they can hopefully hear you before you see them and they can run away. But if you do see a bear, you're just kind of supposed to stand there, I think. We should watch the video together. But you're kind of just supposed to chill there. And then there's certain instances if you're in between a cub and a mama bear, you need to get the fuck out of there. But just if it gets bad or if it doesn't move and it wants to see you or whatever or something like that, then you need to get big.
Should I blow my whistle if I see bear?
I don't know. We'll find out. We'll see what
I'm
happens.
so
Hopefully we
scared.
don't die. I think there's a low likelihood that we would die.
I think it'll be a cool experience. I've never experienced, just a little fun fact, I don't think Mark has either. I've never really experienced nature. I've never been a big nature girl, at all. So I'm excited to go and actually experience nature and appreciate that we're just these little ants and there are these big trees and big forests and appreciate nature for what it is.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it should be a good time. We're not camping. We're not that crazy yet. We're staying in a hotel.
We're staying in a hotel.
But it should be good, regardless of what happens. If we do survive, which I think there's only a 30% chance that we would die. If we do survive, we will update you guys on everything. Probably have maybe an episode or at least part of an episode devoted to kind of the experience.
Yeah, our friends who are big hikers were saying, if you break your leg, you're stuck in there and good luck getting out. And I'm just well, I know that in the back of my head, but why would you tell me that? You're freaking me out. And then they made us a big list of all this equipment we need, which they told us we obviously don't need all of it to go. But this is the first test to see, how we actually feel about hiking,
Yeah.
I think we should have went to somewhere smaller, like Ohio Pile or something, maybe. Maybe not the forest. I got a little excited. My friend said she liked it. I didn't even know what I was doing, and I'm let's go. But like I said, our friends, they said they go on 6-hour hikes, and I said to Mark, because after talking with them, I started to get really overwhelmed. I said maybe we'll just do maybe 2-3 mile hikes, one the one day, one the next day, or we could just do half of it and turn around, because I don't want to. One, it's August. We will.
The last thing I'm concerned about is the heat.
No.
Absolute last thing.
No, not for me. We will die in the heat. We will die in the heat.
It's a forest. I don't think it's going to be that bad. I mean, I think
you're right. It might be shady.
Yeah.
But
mostly concerned about bears.
Well, it's really hot. It's really hot. I don't want to overdo it for my first experience. I think that would be horrible.
Yeah.
So anyways, hopefully you guys hear from us when we get back.
Yeah, but that's a good update. We'll see. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah, I think we would.
Yeah.
For sure, like to talk about our experience with you guys. So
yeah. Regardless, though, hopefully it'll make us a stronger couple, like all these other things did on this list. And I think that's pretty much going to wrap this episode up. So we thank you very much. This has been another episode of AM and the PM with Amanda and Mark. And we will talk to you guys in the next one.